Hello guys, and welcome to the FP pre-season at Catalunya. We're riding on board with Twenty Boy Jr. in the Scuderia Ferrari, and Twenty Boy Jr. was famously suspended last season for the season finale as the admins weren't sure about his wheel-to-wheel conduct, but he is back and he is ready to fight after an impressive showing in the evaluation races. Twenty Boy Jr. will be racing, I believe, in F5 next season, and he'll be racing in F2, so under the stewardship of AMS. He's back here to fight. Let's listen in to the engine. We're just waiting for Hulk to join, so he's just left the party. It's strange. Look at that as car number 8 goes into turn 1. Smooth as you like. Twenty Boy Jr. enjoying the grip on the super soft tyres. And with hello to our viewers, Big C, Abby Oden and JPTV. And the yellow flags in sector 3. And 20 runs wide just a little bit. Here we go in the Ferrari. Can he get the second sector hooked up here? He's got to avoid corner cutting, and he looks all over the place. So this FP pre-season will determine the pace order of the 20 drivers competing in the league, and the admins will use that to determine who's going to be put in what car for the foreseeable future. So we are on equal car performance as one of the Sauber runs wide in the background. But what can 20 Boy Jr. do here in the Ferrari? Here we go. Round the final couple of corners. I don't know which country he's from. Is he Mexican? Is he Austrian? Here we go. And it's a 17.6. Lovely as you like. Right, 1 second. I'm just going to get co-commentator in. Hulk? You there? Around in the Toro Rosso. Here we go in the middle sector. Look at that halo, you can't see what's going on in front of you. And Jolyon Manu just narrowly missed out on the FP title last season. He's got to get this hooked up together as he comes around the final sector here and clips the curb. That's how you want to do it. And this is quite a tricky corner here as his car hops around on the curbs. But to the line we go. Jolyon Manu looking to set the precedent here, and he goes 7th, 8/10 off pole position. So it's Jack Lacey and AMS leading the way. What can Flying Throne do? Recently promoted to F2 and is the F2 admin. So Flying Throne in the McLaren Renault rather. The amount of times this car has changed engine over the years is unbelievable, and look at that. He's enjoying himself out there as well. So Flying Frame surely one of the contenders for promotion to the F1 League if he has a good season in F2. Also had an impressive outing in the Race of Champions where he finished 4th at Silverstone. So Flying Frame, a lot of prestige to his name, as the Force India might have gotten his way slightly there. And look at that as we get a nose cone shot here as he comes around the final segment. And this is a good lap time. And he goes 4th, very fast. And let's see, AMS hasn't set a time. He's out there in the Ferrari. So AMS, the runner-up in the Formula Performance League last season, narrowly missed out on the title to Jack Lacey, who is the reigning FP champion here, and AMS has got some traffic to negotiate here. I don't know who that is. I think it might have been a Haas. And AMS is quite a big fan of the Brazilian colours, as you can see by his helmet. And we've got Big C in the party.
Hello, is Hulkenberg commentating?
I don't know, but you know, I've never commentated by myself before. This is awkward. And here we go, AMS around the final corner. What can he do? And it's beautiful lap time, 17.2. And who else is out there? I would have loved to have seen JP Greenwood out there. I always love a little shot when he comes out on a harder tyre. And Big C, he would be one to go out on the medium tyres, wouldn't he? On this.
Yeah, I think JP just loves these harder tyres. I think his driving style just suits the harder rubber, the less grip. So no surprise to see JP out there.
No, and we're going to go on board here, Big C, with Juho Finn. I know you're not in the session. Do you need an invite?
No, I can get in. I don't know what Hawk's done. He said he was done.
I don't know. I mean,
so you can't wait. The bus can't wait for everyone.
You know, buses in London, they definitely don't wait for anyone. Not sure about Spain, but Juho Finn here ready to hook up a lap time. Has a bit of lag as he goes around the final sector as Big Steve joins the session. What can Juho Finn do here? And Warren Haig is complaining that he feels slow. So Warren Haig not adapting to the new game as one, you know, would have wanted. We've even got Boy with no face on the grid. Some were asking for him to be removed. But he is here racing today. But Juho Finn looking smooth in the Williams. I'm starting to sound like Eamon Holmes on This Morning, and I don't like it. But look at that, Juho Finn. A classy driver. He locks up one of the fewer drivers in this league who runs with completely no assists. So, a very experienced driver. He's been on the PSGL site, I'm pretty sure, since 2011 as he goes wide. And what a catch there from the Finnish driver. Undoubtedly hurt by the news of Kimi Räikkönen being demoted from Ferrari to Sauber for the next seasons. And Warren Haig is, you know, unhappy. He's just not finding any grip. So I think the lap's over for Juho Finn. What about Dano? Here we go, Dano in the Sauber. And he had an impressive end to the FP season. He finished second, I believe, at Malaysia in the season finale, his first podium of the season. So it was a great moment for him, and car number 94 signalling his birth year, I'm sure, as the 24-year-old Dano comes around the final corner in the Sauber. Where can he go? He's on the softest tyres and goes 16th, so a bit of sandbagging, maybe hoping to get one of the quicker cars for next season for the opening round. But who else is there? You know, Big C, I don't know if you've got any words on anyone. I know Warren Haig's out there and he's struggling. I don't know. I think Warren Haig usually takes a few seasons to adapt to a new game. He's got a lot of experience, of course, but Haig isn't usually a fast starter. Give him a season or two. Yeah, I agree.
You know, he's on outlap at the minute, so, but interestingly, it's no surprises. I think Ash Best and AMS right at the front.
Yeah, I mean, lap times are very close, aren't they? It just shows the quality of drivers in this league. Even 20 Boy Junior has put in a good... Sorry, 20 Boy Junior has put in a good lap. Look at Lickle Blocks as well. He's there. But Warren Haig, Big C, this is a massive moment for the Force India driver, isn't it? You know, is it a blur? Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Warren Haig and Mr. Grumpy struggling out there at the moment, losing connection left, right and centre. Chicken Owens is out. I wonder if damage is on. It should be, shouldn't it?
Don't know, I saw a bit of frame rate issues, but Warren Haig is about to start his lap off the circuit. The Barcelona Catalunya is its full name. It's a great circuit. And he's weaving his tyres on the straight. Warren Haig struggling for grip into turn one.
Yeah, and he doesn't look great.
Oh! Jack Tardigus gets out of the fast out turn 3. Haig can't even take it flat. He's lifting off through turn 3. He gives us up the grip.
Yeah, I don't know what he's got in his car, Big C, but he's definitely pumped in a lot of understeer, definitely lacking mechanical grip. It is equal car performance, bearing in mind that his car does not look hooked up. And Warren Haig is a man of experience. He will drive to the best of his abilities with what he's given as car number 85, the Sahara Force India, the Racing Point Force India, shall I say. Goes around the corner. We can't refer to Vijay Mallya anymore. We have to refer to Otmar Schnaufler or whatever his name is.
Or Lawrence Stroll as Jack Lacey takes pole on this season. So a decent up there from Jack. But yeah, Steety Brain did brutally take pole position. But I think Warren Haig could trouble the top 10. He wants to get inside the top 10 on these set of super off. But it's deployment. He's running out of deployment.
Sorry, how do I get that? Oh, sorry, I should get the telemetry up, shouldn't I? Yes, look at that. The deployment is running out for Warren Haig as he heaves his car over the curves. Here we go. DRS wide open. and goes 13th. So a better lap time, but Warren Hay definitely heaving the car around the race circuit at the moment. And I don't know who else is out there looking to improve, because what a boy with no face, 20th, 3.2 seconds off the pace on an out lap. I mean, it's an extended qualifying session, so people have opportunities to set lap times.
Certainly, but it seems like people are leaving and rejoining, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But boy with no face on the soft tyres. I don't know if it's an outlap. Yeah, it is an outlap. He's not using any errs, so perhaps we'll have to find someone else to see what they're up to.
Yeah, I mean, it's never good.
20 Boy Junior is about to start a lap here.
Sorry. No, I was just about to say, Big C, it's never good when the host disconnects from the session. So Mr. Grumpy disconnecting, but 20 Boy Junior, Big C, you know this man reasonably well. You had a tussle with him, I believe, once or twice. What do you make of him?
I think he had a bit of a rough start, but he's finding his feet. He's improving a lot. I think he's one of the most improved drivers in the last couple of months, and I think he's a hot prospect. He's currently only second off the pace, and he's in F5. So I think he could be one to watch in F5 as Nickel Box goes second. He's going to meet in F2 next season.
Yeah, and people leave and rejoin. That's going to be off-putting, isn't it? Through some of these corners. I mean, I can even feel the vibrations from where I'm sitting in the seat when somebody joins the session as car number 8. Here we go. 20 Boy Junior. He's got a little bit of deployment left, which is good. He's harvesting a bit of energy, so very hard on the brakes. He used to say Marcus Schumacher was full throttle, full brake, had no time to feather the throttle. Maybe 20 Boy Junior is of the same breed of driver as he comes around the final corner here. DRS wide open, and Big C.
Yeah,
it doesn't
he
improve.
Improved by 2. He did improve by 2 tenths, but it keeps him in P9. But he's mixed it like to Froome and AMS, so he's battling lots of F2 and F1 drivers when he's in F5. So I think you've got to be encouraged.
Big C,
if he was 20 Boy.
Mr. Grumpy, just tell us about his experience and what this man stands for.
I think this man stands for everything good about PSGL. The man has been through it all. Thick and thin, Mr. Grumpy is still standing. He is one of the most respected, one of the best drivers on PSGL. He's got the experience, he's got the titles, he's got the wins. He has everything, and he's driving for one of the most famous teams in Formula 1, McLaren, with the Renault power unit. So Mr. Grumpy wrenching the car as he comes down with the DRS wide open as he looks to improve on P15. Running no traction, no ABS this season, so you expect him to be a little bit slower perhaps, or all his experience is carrying through to more great victories.
And Mr. Grumpy is a man who knows all about experience. The man knows how to wrench a car through the difficult situations in life. This man was ready since the day he was born to produce on the grandest stage of them all here in the Formula Performance League as Mr. Grumpy crosses the line, and it's only good enough for 15th. And look at that, his deployment is running out, and he has given it up here as one of the most experienced, prestigious drivers on the site. And look at that, spins off. We were talking about his experience, and look at that, a loss of a front wing for Mr. Grumpy.
So a shame for Mr. Rhodes. Mr. Hulkenberg is back, so that's positive news.
Yeah, so the 3 league directors for the Formula 1 leagues on the site in the same party, evaluating what's on show here today in the FP League, and the viewers are flying in at the news of Hulkenberg returning to the commentary box here in FP. Missed some of the last couple of rounds, but exciting times.
Is there space in the lobby?
I don't know, but how are things going, Hulk?
A man of few words this evening. He was rushing on. He had to run home to get back for commentary, so perhaps he's just getting ready, cooling down ahead of the race.
Yeah.
As we approach the final 2 minutes of qualifying.
Who else?
One last set of super soft tyres.
Oh, let's go on board with Jack Tyler in the Renault here as Alan Permain looks on from the pit lane. I don't know who else works for Renault. Maybe Bob Bell or Cyril Abiteboul, as some people call him. And Big C, take us through this lap time from Jack Tyler.
So Jack Tyler on the run down his turn 1, because after London ready to breaking board into turn 1, clipped the curve nicely. Jack Tyler, he's been around a while now. He's a very young man, but he's certainly got a bit of experience. He's learned for the likes of him in the commentary booth, but also on track, Jolie Onamanu nearly blocks him, gives a bit of dirty as we go through turn 3 into turn 4. The undulation, you see the oscillation of the tyres as he remains on the racing line down into turn 5. Bit of a tricky corner, easy to understeer wide, but I think he negotiates that very nice steering.
He does indeed, and Jack Tyler is a man well known. Oh, look at that moment! But Jack Tyler is a man well known by Hulkenberg, who's experiencing issues down in Sunderland. So I think we'll lose his services for tonight. But Jack Tyler, a man to prove himself. He wanted promotion up the divisions, but he knows he's got to learn his trade wherever he can. He's a man who makes a few errors, but he'll learn from them. Jack Tyler looking for inspiration, racing against the likes of Ashbest, Flying Frome, Ugi Azim, Jack Tyler, and many more big names. Could he be a big name in the future as Jack Tyler rounds the final corner in the Renault? Where can he put the car? 20th at the moment, he goes 15th as the trapdoor creaks behind him.
Ugi Azim's on a lap. 20 Boy Junior's out on a set of soft tyres, so 20 Boy obviously can think he can improve his fortunes on the soft compound. Well, yeah, there are lots of guys out there, lots of guys are improving.
Ugi Azim, the Rawalpindi Express as they call him, the man from Pakistan, from Lahore or Karachi, I don't know which one, as he slides around the corner. Bixie, you know this man very well. It's almost like he's drifting around every corner. Such is the latency of his connection.
Definitely, but I think Ugi's seen one of the smoothest drivers. Lickle Blocks is on pole. It's Lickle Blocks. It's Lickle Blocks. What can Ugi Azim do in the Red Bull? Driving for the tackle here, Adrian. It's Ugi Azim to the line. Where is he?
He's fourth.
P4
He's fourth
for Ugi Azim.
Jack Tyler. Jack Lacey, sorry. Jack Lacey. What's he going to do in the final sector? In the final sector, in the Red Bull Tag.
Through the final chicane, Jack Lacey in the Red Bull. Can he take original pole position? What can he do? Jack Lacey to the line. Pole position. It's Jack Lacey. It's Jack Lacey. He's on pole position. But who else? Is anyone else out there? AMS.
Ashbest is out there in the final sector. I don't think AMS has got anything in him. He looks like he's trudging into the pit lane like a wounded coyote. Sorry,
here it is to be Jolie Onamanu first. I think Jolie Onamanu, the wet weather specialist, the qualifying specialist.
Oh, I can't do this. Yeah, there we go.
P8 for Jolie Onamanu.
Here we go. Ashbest, the man that everybody looks up to on the PSGL side, and it's third. It's third. Oh no, who else is out there? No one. Warren Haig's in after 15. And Boyle with no face, 12th in the Williams. What a sensational lap time.
Definitely a standout session for the likes of Boyle with no face and Warren Haig. Yeah, Sutty DCFC on his debut in FPP 20, a 10th by Duo Finn, but I think that could be a juicy battle. The likes of JP Greenwood, Duo Finn and Sutty fighting for those positions. I
think Sutty, Dano, Duo. Oh, it could be a very salivating scrap down at the rear end of the grid, and you know they'll be given higher performance vehicles, so it could work in their favour. But Boyle with no face in 12th place, currently in the F2 league. But lap times like that, and maybe people will be questioning, you know, his allocation placement. You know, I certainly don't.
I agree. I think qualifying is one thing, but the race is another.
Yeah, and look how tight lap times are down there from 1st to 10th, about a half a second covering that group of people. So they could be lining up next season in cars like the McLaren, Force India, Toro Rosso, Haas, you know, that midfield group, couldn't they?
Yeah, definitely. Lots of F1 drivers there, but look at Liverpool in F2, showing why he's got the pace to potentially challenge for the title. But yeah, an exciting qualifying.
He's got a 5-place grid drop, Big C.
He does indeed. I think there was a bit of contact. My sources are saying there was some contact. So, yeah, him and Jack Tyler banging wheels in qualifying.
Absolutely. I just don't know what happened to Hulk.
I'm not sure. Maybe there's a few issues, but I can continue if needed. Well, I'm going to continue now.
Indeed.
And onto the podium, yeah, surely on a man who is a man who I've known for over 7 years. All that experience is a man you should be getting behind for the upcoming FP season.
Exactly, as we wait for the drivers to get ready. You know, it's a nervous moment, isn't it, Big C? You know, this track, you know, haunts some drivers. It haunts drivers like Ash Best, who had bad moments here, didn't he, in the F1 League last season. Some may arguably say it cost him the championship, from an opportunity to win the race to no points.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think he's got over it still, but as we get the 5 lights, and it's formation now.
There's a stall! They're stalling on the grid, Big C! Oh my goodness!
Ball at the start. The personnel might have to come onto the grid to get the car started. As Francis rejoins and causes more lag in the lobby. I think people need to stop leaving and rejoining. There needs to be guidance. People need to stop leaving and rejoining. And
I'm worried. CC Brain right up the rear end of Ash Best here. They do look like they've all got away slowly. Oh, it's a formation lap, isn't it?
But Ian, on the formation lap, what is your approach? You want to get those tyres nice and hot, so we want to back up, let the pole guys sit on the grid and keep cool. What's your approach?
Depends where you are on the grid. If I'm further back, I will hold it up. Yeah, I would hold it up. I would take my time to get onto the grid. You know, play a few mind games. I wouldn't put too much tyre temperature in. I'll be looking to protect the tyres if necessary. Make contact with another vehicle on the formation lap, so it sends you automatically onto the grid. You know, I don't know what your approach is, Big C, but that's what I'd be considering. And
I think that's the type of driver you're operating. I think more importantly, it's the tyre selection. The types of Twanny Boy Jr., Bob No Face, Chicken Holmes, Mr. Grumpy, Giro Finn and Sooty on soft tyres. So I don't know if the super soft guys can do a one-stop strategy, but the soft guys most likely will be on going from softs to medium. So that's for 20 and Josh could be one stop.
Yeah, and I'm worried about Jodiani Manu. He definitely really lit up the rear tyres there in the Toro Rosso, so he might be struggling for a bit of a heat as CSR Abiodun, you know, lines up alongside him. And Ugi Azim has been disqualified from the session as contact. AMS and Ugi Azim have made contact. But as we ride on board with Little Blocks as he goes to the line. So he's behind Abiodun, that's interesting.
I think the grid will sort itself out. Charlie Artie will give the verdict shortly to get everyone back in position.
Yeah, and it's quite a nice feature on the stream. It really can build the hype as Sutty LMC lines up at the back end. But we've got to take our attention out to the front here. And I don't know what type of view I'm getting, Big C. What lights are we on?
No lights. I think there's a staller. I think there's a staller.
Oh no! There's a green flag at the back, and VSR Francis has left the session with 13 viewers on the stream, waiting for the lights to go out. People's tyres will be absolutely frozen, and Jack Lacey is on the front row alongside Ash Best. We are underway at the heat of Catalonia. And look at that, a great start there from CC Brain. Jumps Ash Best immediately. And I'm just going to look there. The Ferrari of AMS goes around the outside. I wonder if there's going to be any late breakers down the back. No, there aren't, Big C. What can you see? What can you see?
There's a bit of a spin. It's Warren spoiler. There's a Red Bull off. There's a Red Bull off track. I'm not sure. I think it's Oogie team, Aaron.
Oh, dreadful, appalling. Never fails to disappoint. But who else is battling that there? I know Little Blocks has made the move on Abiodun there, so he's made a good start. Jolien and Manu up to 7th. Warren Haig up to 9th. So in the points, Big Six, a lot has gone on. And the highest soft runner is Twanny Boy Jr. and he leads a quartet of cars on those softs, including Mr. Grumpy. But what can you see out there?
Start from Twanny Boy Jr. Sutty's got ahead of Dano. I'm not sure what the relation. There's a bit of a battle going on between the two Derby fans.
Oh! The spray in the background. Warren Haig having a little tussle down there with Boer with no face, a guy he knows very well from F4. But we're going to turn our attention down the straight in just a second. I wonder, let's see, who is there to go on board with it? I think Lickle and
Abiodun, Lickle Blocks right behind Ash Best. They'll be deploying all of their they'll be getting into the overtake mode. Full
Yeah, and Lickle Blocks, a lovely driver he is. You know, I said some bad words about him last season, but he's proved me wrong. He's back to fight, and what a pleasure it is to have this man on the PSGL site. But everything looks hunky-dory. Boy of No Face and Warren Haig are battling, so Warren Haig, look at that, trying to utilise the grip to have a go back at Boy of No Face here. And I don't know if Haig fancies a little lunge down the inside. I think it's better on it as he's under threat from Mr. Grumpy. I think this battle, 11th, 12th and 13th, is what is the battle that you would have seen on a daily basis in F4.
Yeah, definitely. I think, unfortunately, Haig's desync. So I can't really see where Warren Haig's car is down at 18th from my screen.
Yeah, the yellow flag's out maybe, so I don't know.
I don't know if it's Oogie's Aim's car, but, you know, Jack Lacey doing a great job at the lead for Jack Tile. Oh, Nickelbox is being tapped by Abby then. Nickelbox was tapped. But interesting, Jack Lacey's having a great job running no assists. So, yeah, Jack Lacey finding his feet around the circuit to Barcelona, Catalunya.
Yeah, and Big C, I think Nickelbox could be under threat here from Abby Oden. You know, what would you do if a driver tapped you and then tried to overtake your next corner? Would you punt him off? Would you squeeze him up against the wall? You know.
I'd squeeze it. Abingdon is under threat from Joel Manu. Joel in number 4. He's deploying his urge. He's in the overtake mode. Abingdon's going to go defensive and stay one shortly, but Joel Manu, very experienced. He's going to try and go around the outside to set him up perhaps for the next complex performance through the fast up turn. But he does, yeah, obviously a fatter. Yeah,
it didn't work out that time for Juliana Manu. Ashbest on AMS here. There's a battle here for second and third. Mr. Grumpy's out. Mr. Grumpy's out. Oh no, I did want to see what happened to him. I did. Oh, can't. You can't see him, can you, these days? But Mr. Grumpy is out of the Spanish Grand Prix here at pre-season, and AMS defends successfully from Ashbest. Both these drivers know each other very well, and you know AMS, the league admin, he works very, very hard, doesn't he?
Yeah, he works maybe too hard at times for the FP League, fixing the car allocation switch, showing on when he doesn't win the title. But Ashbest using the OS nearly hits the back of him. He locks up.
And under
threat for this race.
No, it's on. It's on. People have been destroying their vehicle.
Oh, his aim is back in the race. They've got his fixed. His DRS was stuck open, but I think they've fixed it. But AMS struggling. I think he's overheated those super softs. Look at those tyres. They look overheated. They look nuked.
Yeah, and AMS definitely milking as much airtime as he can possibly get, as he's got a train all the way down to 11th place behind him. Look at that huge complex of cars. He's got to go defensive as we see Ashbest have a lunge here around the outside of AMS. AMS cannot battle that one, concedes the position professionally. And oh, there's a movement here from Nickelbox. He's got a good run. Take us through this, Big C.
Yeah, great one from Nickelbox. One of the feistiest drivers I've seen in many a year. As he's going to try to go around the outside of turn 4, breaks beautifully late. But MS probably will run off, running wide at MS, and he does.
Oh! What a hold! What a hold! Look at the drift of Nickelbox. Amazing driving, amazing car control, and that is the reaction of youth. If it happened to me or you, Big C, we would have been out of here.
As seen by me last season, spinning off and out of the race. But CC Brain is now back within, or he's in DRS range of Jack Lacey, so Jack Lacey struggling, perhaps overheating them.
Yeah, oh, there's a Rosso down the inside of a Force India. Joliana Manu making an overtake on Abby Oden. What a sensational overtake from one of the most experienced drivers, but we'll go back on board with CC Brain, who's surely going to be launching an assault here for the lead. Big C, take us through this. This looks
Jack Lacey's got one, but CC Brain's struggling the jet, yeah, but importantly, this might indicate that CC Brain's got 100% hers, so I think he'll be easily making the move. I'm not sure if it is right, but he's going to make the move. DRS, and obviously the air's been deployed. I think it's going to be a straightforward maneuver unless Jack Lacey can break late into turn 1, and he does. Yeah. Well, I think CC Brain had the high ground and makes the corner and makes the move for the lead of the race.
Yeah, and Joliana Manu! Oh, we had a bit of a slide, a flying foam, fancies and action at the meat of the rear end of Abby Oden. He goes down the inside, flying foam, very experienced. Joliana Manu really parking the bus there. It's like watching a Sam Allardyce team away from home, and yes, that is fantastic defending there, Big C. What's happening now? What's happening?
I don't think there's not too much happening, but Ashbest is now in the DRS range of Jack Lacey, so the top 3 will be squabbling, but I think Joliana Manu using what you do best doing, defending, parking the bus, keeping guys behind.
Oh, he's
got all sorts.
I cannot keep my eyes off this.
Push him off, and contact. But even 20 Boy Junior, P9 on a set of soft tyres. The F5 driver challenging Knights of F1 and F2 drivers.
Those tyres will be coming
impressive.
into play. I don't know whether I need to go on board with Ash Best. I don't want to miss what could happen down the straight. I'll have a little glance.
I'll have a little gander,
no,
but let's have a look at Ash Best. Ash Best, go. Get Lacey's in. Get Lacey's cooked
They're
the
all
tyres
in.
in 5 laps.
They're all in. Jolyon and Manu's in. CSR
They're in 20 Boy Juniors making a move on flying foam. Overtake being deployed. Who's lost all sorts of positions. He's in the pits. He's in the pits.
Free abreast down to turn 1. What's going to happen here? This is exciting. Let's have a look there. Look at that, 20 and flying frame making a bit of contact. 20 has made 3 overtakes in a matter of seconds. And is that boy with no face having a look? Flying frame behind Chicken Owens. So uncle and nephew relations here are definitely going to be reaching boiling point. Big C.
Yeah, definitely. But I think 20 will using his aggressiveness to make the positions up, and now he is the highest place of a soft runner, so 20 Boy will be in the net lead of the race win when TC Brain and Ash Best make their pit stop with everyone with 1 stop to make, so 20 Boy in a great position to win this race today.
Yeah, and Boy with no face, using all of the plethora of experience he's built up over the years. What can this man do? He's running well and he's keeping his nose clean. A very sensational drive thus far.
It is, but even when he's been outperformed by F4 and F5 drivers, you need to question where Josh is at the minute.
Well, the race is 27 laps, short at the moment. There's more laps to go, and Flying Frame goes into the pit lane. Where did Jolyon and Manu figure out? 4 seconds behind Abby Oden, lost a lot of time. AMS now behind Ugi Azim, so this could be quite interesting. Watching a car lag all over the place is the last thing you want around a circuit like this.
Yeah, certainly, but I think AMS will easily make the move on Ugi Azim, who had a shocker reverse that really wide at turn 3. I think AMS will get the job done comfortably.
Yeah, I think the move's done and dusted. But in front of AMS is Ash Best, who comes out behind Jack Lacey. So it didn't work out. Chicken Owens, my apologies, has actually lost a couple of positions. I don't know whether he's involved in a bit of contact. And Ball of No Face hunting down 20 Boy Junior. So Josh is solidifying himself. He could be in the contention for a race win. Yellow flags out there. Is it Ugi Azim? No surprise. It's a horrendous drive. Big C. It's just not getting better for him. It's just not getting better.
He's been doing this for many seasons. When will this man learn? When will he learn his lesson? Shocker, but it is pre-season here, and get the mistakes out of the way early.
Yeah, but some men will keep on making those mistakes until they retire from league racing. And Ugi Azim disappointing once again. But Big C, this is an interesting battle that's ensuing here. AMS is putting Ash Best under a bit of pressure. So has Ash Best failed to get enough tyre temperature in that he's now susceptible to being overtaken possibly?
Yeah, he was just out of the pits, and on this game, coming out of the pits on cold tyres, it's very hard to get these harder tyres warmed up. As you can see, AMS fully warmed up and setting fastest laps of the race. But where will CC Brain reappear? And he's been undercut by them all. So a strange strategy from CC Brain pitting so late, despite having the high ground and the lead of the race. Because he's going to have to make 2 stops like everyone else. So
he's under pressure. Oh! Abby Oden runs wide.
CSR, Abby Oden at 1F.
Juho Finn, Big C,
yeah.
He's under a lot of pressure. Contact! And it's a Ferrari down the inside. AMS trying to have a go. What is Juho Finn thinking here at the moment? What has he got himself into? Is he just going to move to the side and let everybody go? No, he's fighting for it. And look at that, drivers are showing him the respect he deserves. After that,
I wouldn't overtake in this corner, that's for sure. I think he should get the Juho Finn. Looks to be all over the place on those stops. He's cut them too early, and he'll have to try and overtake that outside. But look at Lickle Blocks. Lickle Blocks, will he make the move down the inside? Nah, he's learned his lesson, has Lickle Blocks, and backs out.
Yeah, and everybody's showing respect to Juho Finn, who's drifting it around, this sort of tight complex of corners. If that Mercedes goes down the inside, it's a bit disrespectful, I thought. But
a little bit disrespectful, but I think Juho Finn's struggling. He's overcooking those tyres.
I worry for the fate of this man here at the moment. I don't think he's going to make the one-stop work.
Little Box and AMS. Little Box using the overtake mode. Can he go around to the outside of AMS into turn one? Little Box likes to very delay, but AMS will surely run him off. And he does, but Little does cut the corner. And AMS maintains the position, the high ground as we come to turn 3. And Nickelbot surely will be looking to make a move with a little late maneuver on AMS. But again, AMS defends the position nicely, keeping this car in the middle of the circuit.
Yeah, good driving so far from Lickle.
Oh, Kingdom Martin's off. Kingdom Martin, he's off. I think there was contact with Dano. They were battling, but Kingdom Martin is off.
Yeah.
And Gunter Steiner looks on. Disgruntled.
A smile from Giuliani Manu, who was abused by this driver in private chats. Big C. So Giuliani Manu jubilant as he hunts down Duopin for the final point. Sorry, AMS and Nickel will go back to them. Look at that. They're having it out, aren't they? Proper scrap here.
They definitely are, but CT Brain wants to be in the mix. Will we see a safety car at this point today? But CC Brain looking very feisty on those soft tyres. Obviously he's got the newest tyres of anyone, but Abiodun as well will be looking to get in on the active 21 Junior to just maintain the lead ahead of Josh as we approach lap 10 of 33. As Ash is ahead of Jack. Ash and Jack.
Yeah, I'll forget it. It's over and done with now. It's done the overtake. Here we go. Little blocks around the outside of AMS. This is an even better scrap. And what a brilliant overtake. AMS succumbs to that overtake from Little. But CC Brain and AMS could get a lot more personal.
CC!
Oh, what amazing car control. This is getting personal. If I was AMS, I'd run him off. You know what? I would have him in the wall. Look at that, AMS thinking he can keep it around the outside. I'll tell you what, ain't happening. And he loses another position. I wonder if he'll go back at CC down here. No. I think AMS has overcooked these tyres.
Definitely struggling as AMS, not the most aggressive of drives when he was CC, but CC truly mugged him off there as King Martin has left the session. A disappointment for the newly appointed
CC Brain! Oh my goodness me. Oh, sorry, it's AMS. Was he?
AMS?
He was tapped, but Abiodun, my apologies. Oh my goodness. It's going from bad to worse, and Duo Finn has found his way back up into the points. As Chicken Owns are losing positions left, right and centre. What else is going on out there on the track? CC behind Little now. Little challenging Jack Lace. So Jack's struggling, Big C, on the tyres.
Yeah, he is still new to nervous system, absolutely struggling, but Little Blocks round the outside. What a manoeuvre. Outstanding move there from Little Blocks. A beautiful move on Jack Lacey. The season 70 F1 champion mugged off. The current FP champion was being mugged off by 15-year-old Little Blocks. So a beautiful move there from the Renault driver, Aaron.
Yeah, I agree, Big C. And I just wonder, is Little on a pad or a wheel?
He's on a wheel.
So it does seem to me as if some of the pad users, such as AMS and Jack Lacey, are struggling.
Yeah, Jack Lacey looked so strong in that first thing, but again, he is not too consistent with no assists. He does make a lot of mistakes. Not in control of his vehicle, some would say.
Yeah, he's never in control with Jack Lacey as he's struggling out there. But I wonder if there's any other battles out there. No, it's just the main one, Chicken Owns and Dano. That could be something to keep our eyes on. I mean, I don't want to give the F1 guys all the airtime. So we'll have a look at Chicken Owns versus Dano here for a moment. You know, both these drivers looking to prove themselves. Chicken Owns has moved down to F4 from F3. I don't know if you agreed with that. It's an interesting move.
I don't know, Aaron, but CC Brain is using DRS and the to overtake Jack Lacey. I think we'll go back on with Chicken Owns when he gets into DRS range, but Jack Lacey all out sorts in the Red Bull track, breaks very late, and CC Brain, one of the not the most aggressive of drivers in F1. I think we've seen that again. Doesn't have the balls of a Little Blocks. But Chicken Owns, I think, Aaron, will be the one to watch next.
Yeah, we will in just a moment. Oh, look at the speed he's got over Dano, and Dano has to succumb to that position. And Boy with No Face is effectively the race leader. I think we have to keep an eye on him. I wonder if he's going to battle hard. He's a man who likes to prove his worth out there on the pitch. Or circuit.
Yeah, but Aaron, interestingly, Aaron 20 Boy Jr. is right behind his coach, his master, AMS. So 20 Boy in a decent position in P9, and surely we're looking to close in on the likes of AMS.
Oh!
And hoping.
sorry, CC really locked up there, nearly went right into the rear end of the Red Bull of Jack Lacey. AMS now behind Juho Finn. I think this could be interesting. Juho Finn has really milked it out. 11 laps on those tyres, so both Juho and AMS have got one more stop to make. 20 boys put on the softs, which is a strange decision.
Bit of a late move there from Jack, I thought, but
sorry.
I think CC Grain will make the move down the inside into turn 1. Jack Lacey struggling for airs, struggling for grip. But it does look like Jack's is struggling to harvest his airs, as CC Grain seems to be harvesting as much better. So interesting to see how that's all playing out. And
Juho Finn has been overtaken by AMS Big C. I don't want to give the F1 guys any more airtime. I've seen them enough. 20 Boy Junior here, hunting down Juho Finn Big C. You know, this is a battle of old versus young. I wonder if there'll be any respect.
I think 20 Boy has certainly improved a lot. He looks very quick at the moment. He looks very aggressive. So I think Juho Finn's going for that one-shot strategy. So 20 Boy needs to make the move done. Needs to get the move on Juho Finn. He's struggling on his softs.
Yeah, I don't think Juho's going to have much of an answer down there. He's got to take the inside. I think he's just going to leave it open as he... 20 goes down the inside. Juho locks up a little bit of contact, but I think the move is going to be done there. And Juho gives that one up. Ooh. Close, but not close enough. Who else is out there? Chicken Owens down behind Warren Hayes. A battle for the final point. I think Warren Hayes going to the end on those mediums.
Yeah, perhaps, but 20 Boy did mess up the chicane, so Juho Finn can reply down the straight if he activates his airs. Juho Finn's in number 2, so I think he might not be wanted to move. Up to number 3. Claire Williams looks on in the Williams, but 20 Boy will have to go defensive, and Juho Finn looks to make the move round the outside of him and so on. He breaks a little bit later, but 20 Boy moves in the brain zone and covers the manoeuvre off. But Ash Bassett's now behind Josh in the field as well.
Oh, okay, sorry, missed that, but yeah, okay, so this is a man stand board with CC and Jack Lacey battling. I've given them enough airtime, but Boy with No Face doing a sensational job leading this race in car number 64 as Ash Best hunting him down. Boy with No Face leaves the door open and Ash Best takes it like a present, like taking candy from a baby.
Yeah, and he's moved there for Ash Best, who's currently in the net lead of the race. We look at what's in second, who now have to pass Josh shortly.
Yeah, and if you've got any questions in the chat during this busy moment in the race, let us know, as Boy with No Face makes a pit stop, and a wise move considering the number of cars hunting him down. So
yeah, don't get like Josh. He will be going on the mediums to the end of the race. So Josh will still be ahead of the likes of Giuliano Manu and Jack Lacey for position. So yeah, Josh still will be a factor in this race.
He may, Bixie, he may. It depends where he feeds back out, actually, because he does not want to come out behind Chicken Owens. He's got to negotiate a Juho Finn as well, but he's got time on his side at the moment. Okay. And Big C, Game Freaker asked a question earlier. Who do you think will fail on this game? Any names that you think are going to fail?
I think it's always hard to say, but from what I've seen, it's going to be a very similar case of F1 2017. The same people at the front, the same people in the midfield. So perhaps the likes of the Big C will be struggling to deliver what is possible. I think Jack Lacey will struggle with no assists in the F1 League, but in FP, I'm not too sure. I mean, it depends on the allocation, but I think Giuliano Manu, he challenged for the title last season, but I'm afraid it's tough to recover. So I think Giuliano Manu will struggle to repeat, the heights of last season.
Yeah, and Chicken Owens did make an error. He's fallen behind Juho Finn again. No, he hasn't. Sorry, that's where he's fed back out, just behind Josh. And it's not what Josh needs. Our medium's going to the end. He does not want to be involved in a scrap with Chicken Owens. And most importantly, he does not want to be behind Chicken Owens, because Chicken Owens' tyres will go off soon. And so Josh will have to use a lot of his deployment. In number 3 we are with Chicken Owens. What is Josh on, Big C? He's using 4. He's using the overtake. Is that a bit too much?
No, I think it's good. He's maintained the gap back into 3, so Chickenham's got 20% more of the battery available, and he will be on the soft tyre. Josh medium tyres just aren't warming up. They take a lap or 2 to warm up, so Chickenham's will certainly be the favourite here. But Catalunya is not the easiest to make the overtake, so it'll be interesting to see Chickenham's can stick with Josh.
Yeah, and we've got 10 people tuning in for a pre-season, which is relatively large. I mean, it was an average stream number, wasn't it? Last season for the actual FP races, so hopefully we'll get more viewers in this time around. But Chicken owns sticking with Boy with No Face. Josh will definitely need to get a move on because the drivers in front will be setting better lap times than him, so he might actually come out. So lots of Jack Lacey and CC Brown may actually come out ahead of Josh should he not be able to deliver the lap time necessary.
Yeah, potentially. And I've got a question from Human Fish. Has there any been surprises, like people improving in pace? Has there been any surprises compared to last game?
20 Boy Junior is the main surprise that I can really think of. I can't really think of any others.
No, I think everyone else is saying pretty much the same. I think it's a bit closer between like Lash Best and everyone else, but I think 20 Boy Junior certainly made the most improvements since F1 2017.
I agree, and Will... No, Chicken Nose hasn't got the energy deployment down this back straight to do a job.
But here in Duo Fit, 16 laps on those soft tyres, you got to credit. You know, he looked to be struggling early on, but I think he's got on top of the car now. He's on 16 laps on those softs, so perhaps he's going to go softs to super softs.
Well, at what point do you determine this as enough? I think he's overdone it on those tyre compounds. He should have pitted a while ago. He's just forcing himself into a black hole, is Jehovin. It's not working. He's losing a lot of time. He should have pitted earlier for the mediums. It's not the best effective strategy in terms of lap time. Big thing.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree with him, but I think he's enjoying it. It is pre-season. He's testing the limits, so there's a yellow flag out there.
Yeah, what an overtake, Big C, from Boy with No Face. Yellow flag's always going to happen. I wonder if it's flying throwing these.
Oh, it's Giuliano Manu spinning off. Giuliano Manu still scarred by the horrors of Malaysia last season, and he's down in P10 there. And
yeah, and you know the pressures of being an F2 admin, you know, losing the title battle, you know, always down him as he goes into the pit lane. They said it was 7 years in the making, but it's 7 years in the making for him to become an admin rather than a champion. So Giuliano Manu making a pit stop. And Big C, you know this Taurus team very well. You've won titles with them. Can they get the pit stop done in time here?
I think Salmon, can they get it done? They get the front wing off quickly, but you know, I think the rear jack might be a little bit slow, perhaps. No, they're struggling to get it on there, and they're struggling to get the front wing on. Joel a little bit slow on the clutch, so yeah, not the best of pit stops, but it is pre-season. So that's the real thing. The pit stop will be a little bit smoother.
That's exactly what you want to hear. But Jack Lacey and CC Brain, the closest battle, a boring battle.
Is Warren Hayden okay?
Oogie Azim. I think people do want to see if Jack Lacey has a bite though, so we'll stand here with him and then see what happens.
Chicken Holmes is out, there's problems. I'm not sure what's happened. Haig was off from my seat, so I'm not sure what's going off.
Oh, look at that car, it's beached. I think he might have dipped a tyre in the gravel there. And look at that, what an overtake there from Oogie Azim as he slides and lags his way past the Force India of Warren Haig, who's having a difficult race on the medium tyres. He's fighting, but he's struggling. He's struggling, Big C.
He certainly is indeed. In terms of favourite helmets, I do like CC Brain's helmet in the Mercedes. Look at that, a beautiful helmet there. Look, side by side. He is behind Josh. So Josh, I did say here, Josh will be a factor in this race on those medium tyres.
Yeah, but it's going to be tight between... If Jack Lacey comes in now, it's going to be incredibly tight, and we know CC isn't one to hang around. He's going for aggressive moves. And Josh, he will not be playing ball, will he?
No, he certainly won't. Josh obviously knows how to get his elbows out. He can end races. He can end careers. So let's see what Josh can do for us on this Tuesday evening in Barcelona.
Yeah, as we see the undulation here. He's got to shut the door, I would. Oh, disgusting driving. Horrendous driving from CC Brain as he eliminates Josh's opportunity for a podium. That's the second race he's destroyed this evening. Oh my goodness, Big C, what did you make of that? He absolutely just tapped the rear end of the Williams. I saw it. I don't need another replay. I've made my verdict. You know.
Yeah, Aaron, I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. So Cat Lacey and Aimless pits. But Aaron, I don't know if there's a bit of desync involved, but
I don't.
it certainly looks to be all CC Brain's fault there.
We think I don't really care about all this language. It looked like the CC Brain went into the back of Josh. But look at that, Josh. He could have been in front of Jack Lacey. It would have been a possible shout for the podium. He would have been running in the podium actually once 20 minutes stopped, but it's over. The dream's over for boy with no face. And now he faces an uphill mountain with Abby Oden breathing down his neck. And Big C, Abby Oden, an F1 driver, a talented driver. You know, what will he think of drivers like boy with no face who've competed in F4? Will he think of them as easy meat? You know,
not much. I think maybe a bit of that in his mind, but I think F4 is renowned for being one of the cleanest and most experienced leagues, so he knows if he makes a move, Josh will give him the room and will give him the respect. So I think Aberdeen will try and take advantage of that.
Yeah, boy with no face, not playing ball here. He's got to give us stream time. I think he's going to run this car out wide there. Beautiful driving from boy with no face. Josh, as people like to call him. He will have a lot of... No, he hasn't got much deployment in store, so I wonder... He's down to battery mode 1. He's trying to harvest as much energy as he can for the straight. Abbey Oden got a lot more battery in reserve as Ugi Azim also breathes down the neck of this battle. 20 Boy Juniors in the pits. Ash Best comes out of the pits behind Lickle Blocks. But look at this, Big C. Good boy with no face surely has to go defensive. He's got to go down to the inside. Angles his car in the middle of the pitch, and beautiful defending here, Big C. Just talk us through what you're seeing.
Yeah, it is beautiful, but he has not got the pace. He's not got the same amount of grip or confidence as Abbey Oden, who's going to look to make the move into turn 4, but surely Josh will cover it off. And it's quite an easy corner to defend if you get your braking right here. So I think Josh will be able to do it perfectly, but Abbey Oden trying to get greedy on the throttle there, but got a little bit focused there, but a little bit excited from Abbey Oden there.
Yeah, and there's going to be a battle for the lead ensuing shortly between Ash Best and Lickle. The yellow flags out there again. I'm going to make a guess. It's
Giuliano Manu.
I had a feeling. Oh, horrendous evening for Giuliano Manu. You know, fighting for the FP title, and it's just not worked out. Sorry, Abbey Oden and Josh, they're battling, and Josh gives up that position to Abbey Oden. Didn't fight it, didn't defend it. And now Ugi Azim is next in line to make a purchase from the market here. And I wonder if CC is going to put Ash Best on the front. I don't think so. I don't see that time closing down. But Ugi Azim next in line here, Big C.
Yeah, he is indeed. But he wonders. Oh, he's got damage here, and he's got a full wing damage.
I can't say I'm surprised, Big C. I mean, every time I see this man race, it's like he's got damage from the offset. You know, it's like he leaves the car with half a wing. You know, I don't know what else to say. It's just not worked out for him as 20 makes a move on Warren Hay, who will surely be looking to defend that final point because AMS is breathing down his neck slowly but surely. But 20, a good performance so far.
Yeah, definitely. I think 20 Boy's been very impressive, but he's on medium tires, so it's interesting. It's been a very strange option to 20, but you know, he is very young and he is learning. So, but nevertheless, a very strong and a positive performance again from Dutchman.
No, definitely. And I wonder what else we can look at. Dano, I think he's just been past that AMS. He's been hunting AMS down. I don't know what to say.
I think AMS was over to the Danos on 15-lap old medium tyres, whilst AMS is on 2-lap tyres, but Giro's been cutting clear on the super soft tyre. I think Giuliano Manu is going to be outraced by Giro here. I think Giro has outclassed.
He's 12th,
the Northern Irishman.
Warren Haig's 9th.
Oh yeah, sorry, Warren Haig's not on my screen. So, well, I think Girofin is outclassing Giuliano Manu though. I think we'll give credit.
Yeah, CC Brain here. He's got a lot of power. He's using the overtake. Ash Best could come under a little bit of threat, and CC Brain isn't here to play ball with anyone as he nearly hits into the back of Ash Best. So CC Brain under commentators' critique here today, and with lots of human fish watching today, I wonder if this will be an opportunity for human fish to sack this man from the PSGL marketing deals. But no, a CC, a very admirable driver. I mean, it's pre-season, incidents can happen. and I'm sure he didn't mean it, but it is what it is.
It is, but there's not really many battles up and down the river looking at the gaps, but I think Joe Finn has gained a position with Zuzin has decided to stop.
Yeah, and would like to send our best wishes to Mr. Grumpy. He's retired from this race. You know, a shout out to Dale Keller, who's tuning in tonight. One of the most seasoned veterans on the PSGL site, a league ambassador, a site ambassador, a man who's contributed a great deal of his life dedicated to the PSGL site, achieving so much great success. He's not out there on the circuit, but we will never miss a moment to speak about such a godly man.
CC Brain's out for that's fine. Ashbest. Nickelbox, I think, is looking very assured at the front, but Ashbest 2.2 behind. Nickelbox, CC Brain, and Ash looks to be the main battle on track with Uyezine, only 6 tenths behind Julian Manu for P12.
Oh, I don't think I can give him any more airtime, but I just can't look away, Big C. I've got to have a little peek. You know, what will Uyezine be thinking here? As both of these drivers are very close to being lapped from this race.
I'm not surprised. It's shambolic performance by two seasoned veterans, but I think Uyezine will be making the move, deploying the lot of the years in over. He's going to put it into hot lap. Forget about him. He's put it into hot lap. I think Uyezine surely will.
And what will Jodel, one of the most experienced drivers around, tries to keep his foot in, but doesn't work out. Concedes that position. Will he have a go back? Jody Amanu, very experienced, understeers into the gravel. I think it could be over. It could be over. It could be over. It isn't. He continues. And this has been a shambolic drive from Joliane Manu, Big C. Words can't describe it. A man in F2 next season.
It's certainly a rude awakening for Joliane Manu, the F2 league admin. So, obviously, he lost the title in dramatic circumstances to Jack Lucy in the finale at Kuala Lumpur in the final ever race in Malaysia. So, Joel perhaps it's still not got over that title loss.
Yeah, but what 20 Boy Junior and AMS? Look at this. The teacher versus the student. Here we go. AMS takes the position with pride. Beautiful.
An easy manoeuvre there. An easy manoeuvre. It's like Darth Vader killing Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars 4, so AMS makes the move on 20 Boys, suffering with oversteer, and AMS wins by himself, so yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. I've never watched Star Wars, but it sounded brilliant. It sounded right at the right moment. As the prancing horses run in unison here under the heat of Barcelona. And I wonder who else is out there, Big C? Who else? Because I think the battle for first, second and third could get pretty heated. Lickle, I wonder if Lickle's managing his ERS very well. He is. Ashbest has got a lot of his ERS, so Ashbest is definitely like a lion in the jungle, ready to pounce on the wounded gazelle of Lickle blocks here, Big C. Anything else?
1.4 seconds, it's coming down very slowly, but yeah, I think 20 Boy Junior right behind AMS still, but Ubi on Jurifin as well, and Dano on Giuliano Manu. I think that could be the next one. Dano only 3 tenths off.
I don't want to look at Dano. I want to look
Joel
at
goes defensive.
Oh, sorry. Oh, he is getting a bit feisty.
I think Uyezine is not even that close to Jurifin. Jurifin making the most of those super soft touch. Giuliano Manu struggling, sliding, and all sorts. And Uyezine's off here, and Uyezine's out. He's out.
Yeah, I mean, if I put 20 quid on him to crash out every race and there were PSGL betting odds, I'm pretty sure I'd be a millionaire by now. And I think Human Fish should look to set something up around that. He could rake a bit of money in through PSGL live betting.
As Dano does go round the outside of someone, so Dano with a nice manoeuvre there. Is it Warren Hagen P10 here or P9?
He's P9. He's got it all done and dusted. I think 20's not giving up on AMS. So I think they're having a little tussle. Flying frame, sorry, Big C. I wonder how he's feeling out there. Not having a good time.
No, currently P14. I think the decision not to win an F1 has been justified. A few horrendous performances recently in the evaluation races and today. So a struggling performance from the F3 champion, of course.
No, I mean,
He's been lapped.
No,
by
Big
the
C.
Ferraris.
I think we need to show this man a lot of respect, because I think he's been one of the standout drivers today. You know, most people would have quit by now, but this man has continued. He's ploughed on. He's got DRS, and he's definitely not activating it at this moment in time. So, flying throne, definitely running an agricultural setup to try and find some purchase on this Catalonia race circuit. Jack Lacey now on the back of the CC Brain. So that could be another battle that could ensue. Warren Haig's pitted. Warren Haig fears a puncher, and that will drop him out of the points. So that's not where I would have wanted to come out behind Jody on a manoeuvre.
Definitely, but it's personal between those two. Over 7 years of experience, 14 years combined. So I think we'll see what happened there. But it's all kicking off here, and it's all kicking off.
7 years of hate. Jack Lacey now behind CC Brain. I mean, I'm sick of giving coverage to these F1 drivers. They get enough, but they're getting more here today. Jack Lacey on the back of CC Brain. You know these two better than I do.
Definitely, even, but I think AMS and 20 Boy Jr. are closing on the Williams of Boy with no face. 20 Boy Jr. is looking very assured out there in the Ferrari. AMS less so. Could be under fire in F1 next season if he continues with these sorts of performances.
Yeah, Big C. Ash Bess is within a second a little, so the battle for the lead's going to heat up, the battle for the final point's going to heat up, and the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th is heating up, as is the battle for 3rd and 4th. So there's loads of battles to keep our eyes on. I don't know which one's going to produce the excitement as 20 runs wide there.
Definitely the battle for 6th, the battle for 1st, it's all kicking off under the heat of the circuit that Barcelona Catalonia, the traditional pre-season testing venue. A nice combination of corners, high speed corner, medium speed corners, of course low speed corners. In the final sectors, AMS gets a time penalty. Not a man to picking up penalties is AMS, but of course it is pre-season and people are learning. They're making notes of the limits. They're taking it all in. They're adding to their wealth of experience, or adding to their limited experience. So, you know, a useful day, a useful race for everyone.
And you can just feel the plethora of experience around this type of race circuit. You know, people can really, you know, angle themselves and set up the cars for whatever part of the circuit they want to, and really harness that experience.
Yeah, Jack Lacey on CC Brain into turn 1, and Jack Lacey round the outside. Jack Lacey is going to make the CC Brain continues, but Jack Lacey makes CC Brain oversteer.
I want to see an accident, Big C. I want to see an accident. What's going to happen here? A beautiful overtake for CC Brain. Sorry, from Ash. From I don't know who they are.
Jack Lacey. Jack Lacey makes the move. The season 17 now champion, the reigning FP champion. CC Brain's off. CC Brain is off.
Yes, lovely. That's what we tuned in for. AMS now on the back of ball. No faces are getting heated, and AMS no, it doesn't go for it down the inside. Oh, taps the rear wheel there, letting Josh know he's there.
But I think it's been very errant. AMS got 14% of his as 20 Boy Jr. 100% he's running on. He's using his brain. He's saving his errs for attack as AMS and Josh go into battle.
But Big C, surely he's using a little bit of errs up and
oh, yeah, maybe. But Aaron, he's going to be full of errs. There's two ahead run wide. 20 Boy Jr. could do both of them here if he feels like it.
Oh,
20 Boy Jr.
That's the penalty. I thought Josh was too nice that I wouldn't have conceded the inside to AMS. I would have said go the other way around. But Josh will be under a lot of... Oh, sorry, Big C! Ash Best! Oh no, it's free count. Do want to see 20, but I'll stay on this battle for the lead because I think this could be exciting. You know, Lickle and Ash Best aren't the best of friends. They share exchanges on a weekly basis.
Oh, 20 Boy has just lost it on the straight with DRS to front. 20 Boy has just lost it on the straight.
Oh,
I'm not sure what happened there, but he just lost it with the DRS wide open.
Disaster.
So, disaster for 20.
Right. I'm looking at Ash Best. I don't think he's going to have a run on Lickle. I want to get a little look at Warren Haig here on Jodiana Manu very quickly. Down the straight, Big C. This is a battle for 11th. Joel will defend this with all his life and energy. Look at that, he's weaving down the straight. He knows what this means to him. What's going to happen here, Big C?
Yeah, Aaron, take it away because unfortunately Haig's desynced for me.
Oh, what an overtake. Around the outside, swoops that overtake, and Julian embarrassed under the heat of Barcelona. But will Ashbest be embarrassed in little blocks down? He's got a lot of energy left and he's got 3 laps to make a move. Down the straight we go. Can he get into the toe of that Renault? And surely Little's going to have to think about going defensive. I wouldn't leave the inside open. He tries to. He goes down the middle. Ashbest sends it down the inside and Little closes the draw there. But Ash just gets the braking on point. And Big C, you know these two drivers better than I do. Take us through this.
Yeah, two of the most aggressive drivers on the PSGL side, but, you know, very respectful and very reserved driving thus far. But Ashbest certainly, he's got the pace, he's got 2 laps fresher tyres, so that surely will play a part in terms of as Nichols got 32%, while Ash has got more. He's got over 80% of his battery pack left, but both have plenty of deployments to use on this lap. But of course, Ashbest surely will be the man, the favourite, but Nichols is always up for the fight. He's always ready to defend very hard.
And Big C, just a very quick word, Little Blocks is in the F2 league, you know. Is he making a statement here today that maybe he should be in F1 as he locks up there? Oh, no, really, that's not really good for his tyres. Dano passes Joe for 9.
No, it's very easy to overheat your rear tyres, and if you're not smooth, you're just going to keep wearing them and keep overheating them, which will just lose more and more time. Actually, that's a lot more smoother and a bit more experienced with the driving like this, but Ashbest will have the 100% of his battery back. Little Blocks is a little 50% here, and as we come down the turn with the eyes wide open.
He's under threat here. Little's going to have to brake late. Sorry, Big C. He does brake late. Ashbest's going to go around the outside, and Little has to concede that position. Can he get another slingshot? Sorry, Big C.
Yeah, so a great move there from Ashbest, but I'm afraid it looks like Lickle just doesn't have the grip of Ashbest. I don't know if Lickle used a little bit too much tyres. Maybe he's got the tyres a little bit too hot, but it's so easy to do around Barcelona with these sweltering temperatures. Over 40 degrees Celsius. The tyres are screaming as they oscillate through the undulating track. So yeah, very difficult for these Pro A tyres here in Barcelona.
I've never heard so many big words in one sentence. But you're definitely right, Big C. The oscillation, the undulation, definitely building heat into some of those tyres as they degrade and blister around this scalding heat here under Catalonia. And can Josh defend here from 20 Boy Junior? It's a battle for 7th and 8th, and it's got one more lap left to it. What is going to happen? I wonder if there's going to be a change of hands. Josh has more ERS, so that will work in his favour, but 20 Boy Junior is definitely not a driver to sit around. If he's going to make a move, he's going to make one.
Yeah, not close enough to wait for the main pit straight. I think this will be the main battle, looking at the gaps between all of the drivers. I think Ashbest has got this sewn up with a lot of the other positions looking to be done and dusted, but obviously penalties will of course play a part with people cheating throughout the 33 laps.
Oh, I agree, Big C, but I think Josh
is 20 boys got damaged.
It might still work for him around this corner. No, it won't. Understeer. And yeah, Josh gets away with that one. Really parked it in the apex and job done. But where is Ashbest?
Julian Manu runs wide, trying to overtake Joe Finn. Embarrassing for Julian Manu, trying to overtake Joe Finn, who's struggling on those super softs. Look at them, Aaron. They're very blistered there. I think he might have to box on this lap.
I don't know.
They look like they're going to blow any minute.
Yeah, and Julian Manu putting the heat on here. He's really turning the heat up as that's the back end of Joe Finn, and what an overtake around the outside. The overtake of the Grand Prix, absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, an amazing move there. A little bit of contact it looked like, but I think Julian Manu showing why, you know, he deserves this 12th place this afternoon.
I agree, Big C, but here we go. Ashbest is en route to win the pre-season here, making a statement to the PSGL side. I've still got it. Good drive from Lickle to finish second. Chat Macy picks up a welcome podium. But what about a good drive from Abby Oden?
Yeah, I think 22 laps on those medium compound tyres, so a very long stint there from Abby, but yeah, a nice sort of P5 with AMS, I think in P6 on my screen. The AMS in 6 with Boy with no face in 7th with 20 Boy Junior. I saw it here. I think 20 Boy very impressive. Sure, I think why he'll be one of the stars in the future PSGL. I'm sure he will be one of the favourites to win the F5 title this season. if he continues showing us some amazing pace.
I agree, Big C. The battle for ninth isn't done. You can't see Warren Hayes, but Dano is struggling on those soft tyres. He's definitely taking his time to get to the finish line. I wonder if there's going to be people with penalties. Warren Hayes did struggle earlier on, but I have to say it's been a good drive from Hayes to pick up that final point. And he picks up 9 because of penalties.
Yeah, I think that's a nice day's work from Warren Hay. He had a bit of issues early on, but a nice drive there with Dano in P10. But showing your man here, I think he stuck a little bit how he challenged for the title last season. But a day to forget for the
12
or so.
12. Juho didn't have any penalties, so Juho reclaims 11th. So disappointing, Big C, for Joliani Manu. But it is pre-season, and still a long season to go. A lot of learning to be done. But
so it's time for the podium interviews. The first podium of the season is only pre-season, but it will be time for the champagne. So the champagne on the podium in Barcelona. There we go, the Lithuanian flag as Ashbeth takes the win.
Yeah, I love the way the podium celebrations just lag on multiplayer. But yeah, happy days on the podium. Did CC get the podium over Thingy? Over Jack?
Yeah, he did. Jack Lacey, disgraceful amount of penalties. 9 seconds for Jack Lacey.
Yeah.
So they have it here in Ashbeth takes when they have a little box. CC Brain in third, so F1, F2, F1, Jack Lacey in P4, CC Brain, Harry in P5, Amos, Josh, 20 boy, probably my drive of the day in P8, a very strong drive from the Dutchman, Warren Haig, and Dano in P9 and P10. Joel on front, but here in the DNS, that Oogie Azine, perhaps he wants a strong card occasion for the race. Chicken Owens, Kingdom Austin, a disgraceful performance there from Austin. Grumpy, Sutty, and of course Jack Tyler, also failing to make the checker flag.
Yeah, thank you, Big Sam. I'm just going to invite a couple of people in. I mean, was it Ashbest, CC, and Lickle? We can get a bit of airtime out of them. I mean, I'll get Joel in. I think a word from. Yeah, thankfully you weren't on the mic so people couldn't hear the way you said Oogie Azim with such bitterness. But we'll invite a couple of people in and get their words, ahead of the season. I mean, FP is going to be the curtain raiser for the PSGL League Racing calendar in 2018, so it'll be interesting to find out how some of these drivers feel ahead of the new season. We've got a plethora of experience, some really godly drives from the likes of Joliani Manu, who really wrenched his way around those final corners to pass Juho Finn around the outside.
There was some outstanding drives out there. I think some drivers look like they never raced an F1 game before, but I think we'll delve deeper into the battles this afternoon.
Yeah, so we'll start by interviewing the race leader, Big C. I'm going to let you ask the question to Ashbest.
Yep, so Ashbest taking the pre-season victory in form performance. Ashbest, there was a lot of questions whether you still had the pace, whether you're still the best driver in PSGL, but once again, it doesn't matter what assist you use, you still win races. So yeah, a great race for you, and yeah, just sum it up.
Yeah, I mean, qualifying, I got one good run in and, well, a decent run in, which put me on 71. That was my banker, and I just wasn't able to improve by enough. And on my last lap, I was up enough to get pole with a 16.4 or something, but then I just lost the back end majorly at the exit of the penultimate corner. But then the race, I had a really bad start and dropped down to 4th, but made my way up. And really just the key thing was focusing on tire temps and tire wear. And yeah, made a move on Lickle. I thought he had a penalty apparently, but he didn't. So thankfully I did make the move. But yeah, really good race for me.
Yeah, it was a great race, but obviously, you did a little bit of practice for this race. Are you a little bit concerned going into the season? Was you doing no assists, perhaps? You won't be as dominant as you were in previous seasons.
No, I'm fine with it. I mean, like, you're showing what I've done here. I think I'll be good to do the FP season analysis. Of course, it's going to be realistic cars, so that's going to be a bit different because learning new different braking zones with slower cars. So yeah, that'll be a bit different, but yeah, it should be fine, really.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Ash. We're now going to go to, a man who I rate very highly, Lickle Blocks, a brilliant drive to finish second around Catalunya. I mean, I did give him a bit of a hard time last time out around this circuit in the F1 League, but today he showed why he is one of the best racers on the site, very clean racing, a matured drive, and, just describe your emotions, Lickle, after that second place.
Before I started feeling it, it's got a bit of a cold, so yeah, just found that for yeah, of course, not feeling as happy as a bit upset about losing the race win. Of course, got quite angry and heavily because of yeah, that kind of reminds me to the race. Started P7.
You need to change your party settings.
Okay, one moment. Let me just invite someone in. There you go.
Alright, sorry about that. So, yeah, kind of bad qualifying. I did qualify P2, but due to me crashing into my teammate coming out the pit lane, which was a bit weird, dropped me down grid 5 places, so I started 7th. Didn't help me the greatest, but had a clean start. Wasn't initially the best getaway, but managed to hold it around the outside 2 drivers, get up to 6th. So, yeah, that was quite good. And then came in for my first pit stop. Getting past the cars was proving tricky, but managed to get 2 good moves done on. I think it was Jack Lacey, and I can't remember who the other one was, but around the outside turn 1. And until then, nothing happened until my second pit stop. Decided to try go for an undercut on Ash. Around lap 17 or 18, I pitted and pumped into quick laps, got me about 2 and a bit seconds ahead of Ash, and then my tyres were just dead at the end, had nothing to fight for. Was running no APS, which did help me with the ERS quite a lot, so most probably will be sticking with that now as well.
I'm going to have to speed you up a little bit.
Yep, almost finished, don't worry, almost finished. Yeah, Ash came past me, tyres were dead, so I just knew, I'll let him through, tyres are dead, no point fighting. And yeah, as I said, kind of upset about losing the race win, but I'll take a P2.
No, and I think you did a great job, and I think you'll be definitely one of the contenders in the F2 season for promotion, and I look forward to seeing what you have to offer, as I'll be racing in the same league as you, so I'm sure we can make some backhander deals behind closed doors if necessary. Big C,
The brain.
Yeah, go and ask him a question.
So moving on to Brain. Oh, sorry, third. But Brain, I have to say, your ERS management today was just outstanding. How did you manage your ERS so great today?
I think I'm a person that not uses much ERS. I'm very conservative. No, but seriously, I don't know. I've just felt like medium and low was the right thing to do, and put it high on the straight. So.
I've got to ask you something, CC. During the race, we had a very highly controversial moment which sent our audience and viewers into disarray. You made contact with the Williams of Boy with No Face, who was potentially in running for a podium position. What happened in that moment?
Yeah, basically, we were in the same party, and he told me to go for a move in the straight. On straight, and I was trying to get in the slipstream again, but then there was kind of a decent glitch, something, and he just spun.
But the position wasn't given back, is that something that, you might need to take another look at? Is it, I know it's pre-season, but, how did you feel emotionally at that time after the incident happened?
Yeah, I was kind of feeling sad for Boy with No Face, but on the other side, I didn't see it was my fault. I saw it on the game's fault either than on my side.
No, I totally understand there, Big C.
He did apologise in the party.
That's good. I mean, that's what you want.
There. And it was a game issue, so. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah,
Who's
I
next?
think we'll move on to Bournemouth No Face. So yeah, Josh, obviously, it was a solid drive, a nice one-stop strategy today. But considering you are an F2 driver and you were challenging for the F4 title last season, and you were outpaced by drivers in the likes of F3 and F4. So was it a disappointing afternoon for you?
Because I'm delighted with my afternoon's work. I mean, I think my strategy, my start, my race management, my ERS management, my tyre management, everything was just composed, experienced. I said I have trouble. I had a little tussle with CC Brain, which obviously cost me P5, I think, if I didn't have that tussle. And also Giuliano Manu had a little spin, and I had to meet his car on the track. I'm not sure if you caught it, so that also cost me some time. But I think my race pace was okay if you compared to other people in similar strategies, so I'm not too disappointed. Obviously, the fastest lap was a couple seconds off, which is an issue. But I mean, I'm not concerned. I think to do well in the F2 league, I'm going to have to, it's going to be off track just as important as on track, and also my experience that I showed today to get P7 on a one-stop strategy is going to be very crucial and something to learn from. So yeah, I'm delighted.
Cool.
No, that was good. We're gonna now find. Is it Giuliano Manu who we wrap things up with? Is it Big Sue?
Yeah, it is indeed.
So we're going to go on board. We're going to have a little word with, one of the drivers who was challenging for the FP title last season, broken by Malaysia. Joel, what happened out there? It was a sensational drive in the early stages, but to come home 12th, you must be absolutely gutted and ashamed.
Yeah, definitely ashamed doing it right there. Terrible race for myself, but that's not to say that there wasn't positives there. It's a game I've not played that much, and over one lap. I mean, to be honest, I think with real practice I could be properly up there, but in terms of full race distance, and that'll just come with practice. And I still had fun today. Me and Warren Haig had some interesting battles, and positives, but definitely a poor result.
That's good. And just quickly, you're now in the F2. Where's the next point coming from?
Round one.
Round one. That's what you like to hear. Bixie, any questions for Joel before we wrap this up?
Yeah, just a quick one. Obviously, you were in the title battle last season, but are you fully over it, or is it still in the back of your mind? Are you still, looking back, you can't sleep at night? Is it, affecting you still, or are you fully focused on the job at hand now and from 2018?
Thanks, I can assure you I'm sleeping fine. It's a new season. I think car allocation isn't going to be in my favour this year, as much as it was last year, so we'll see. 1 week at a time.
Lovely stuff, Erin. Thank you for letting me join you this evening.
No, thank you for everyone for tuning in. See you later. Oh my god, I don't even have to end the stream.